Now your daughter, she's 4 years old, and she needs a heart transplant. If she gets one in time, she will live a long, happy, and healthy life. But without it, doctors tell you she has at most a year to live. So you put her on the heart transplant waiting list, full of hope. You think a year, that's got to be enough time. It must be. We'll find her a donor by then. We have to. But then the days bleed into weeks, and the weeks into months, and you watch your daughter begin to lose her valiant battle. You tell yourself, time is running out, but you don't want to believe it. You tell yourself a donor will be found, has to be found. This is our only shot right here. But suddenly, the 365 days that once seemed like all the time in the world has run out. Your little girl has drawn her last breath, and as you hold her lifeless body in your arms, you beat yourself up wondering how it could be that in all this time, no donor could be found. Unfortunately, this tragedy of endings happens all too often. One of the most outstanding glories of modern-day medicine is organ transplantation. But sadly, it is a glory that is out of reach for many of us. Right now, there are about 75,000 Americans on the kidney transplant waiting list. But in the coming year, only 18,000 will get them in time, according to Richard Knox. That's 1/4. Each and every year, thousands of names are removed from waiting lists, just as their spirits are removed from their bodies. You see, people in need aren't just going to get transplants eventually if they wait long enough. No. Those people are going to die. So the question is this. Totally ruined my momentum. So the question is this. How can we increase the supply of cadaveric organs? How can we increase the supply of cadaveric organs? Well, consider my analogy. Consider my analogy. So, is there anything that you would not do? Right now, thousands of people are excavated because the waiting lists in America are far too long. So, because of that, people don't rely solely on the waiting list. Instead, they're turning to family members, friends, and, well, even strangers. So, is there really anything you would not do to get what you need for your daughter's health and well-being? Any distance you would not travel? Laws you wouldn't break? According to the New England Journal of Medicine, the shortage of donors has led to a worldwide black market run by organ brokers and kidney hunters. Now, this black market has desperation on both sides. There are people who live in such poverty, people in India, China, and Peru, who will have no other option but to sell their organs for whatever they can get, for cheap. And then there are the people who will pay whatever amount of money it takes to get what their body needs. And in between are the brokers, the organ gangs who make all the money. According to Simon Tomlinson, it is estimated that in India, about 2,000 people illegally sell their kidneys each year. All of this is done in filthy, illegal hospitals made specifically for under-the-radar transplants. Now, these donors, they put their lives on the line, undergoing risky surgeries. Let's say a donor sells an organ to a gang for $5,000. That gang would then take that organ to another illegal hospital and sell it to them for $200,000. That is a 4,000% increase. 4,000% profit. This is not where all the money should be funneling to. You see, people are going to do this, illegal or not, just like I'm not going to stop skating on this campus. All the time, people travel to India or the Middle East in search of organs for sale because the waiting list in the US is far too long. But what if we had a system in the US strictly within our borders in which we could legally buy or sell one-to-one our organs at our own free will? Would that lessen the waiting list? Probably. But what would it do to the number of donors? Don't all speak at once. Okay, let me ask you this. If people are buying organs and people are selling organs for money, why would anybody donate an organ for nothing? See, immediately after a free market is created, the number of Good Samaritan donors would diminish fast. According to David Rothman, in Britain, where the sale of blood is illegal, rates of donation were considerably higher than that of the US, where the sale of blood is legal. So, Nat, you're not paying attention. How much do you think a kidney is worth? Take a gander. Or what about a heart? Do you think a heart is more expensive than a lung?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, how do you figure that?
It's like you know, it's like they kind of like keeps beating and like keeps you like alive. Like
True.
Like lung does that too. And then, like,
Right.
your heart is like you can have a bit
There really is no way of knowing, because obviously there was no production cost. All of this is based strictly on what we can't live without. Exactly. So according to the government site organdonor.gov, the National Organ Transplant Act was enacted specifically to prevent any monetary value from being assigned to any human organ, thus preventing commercialization and ensuring a level of equity in access to organs. If we start valuing organs, giving them a price, it's going to fluctuate, and there will no longer be equal access. So let me restate. The goal is to reduce the wait lists. Actually, the goal is to completely knock out the wait lists. So how do we do that? The answer is quite simple. It's right in front of us. We just need more donors. But not enough people in America are donating right now. So what can we do to fix that? In an article for Forbes, Marcia Clark, the same Marcia Clark who was the prosecutor for O.J. Simpson, wrote, "We can't rely on altruism for this matter any longer. There needs to be more incentive for people to give, for people to donate." So the answer? A third-party payer system in which the government pays you upon your donation. So today, if you donate an organ, if you donate a kidney, you'd be called a Good Samaritan donor. The only difference that I'm thinking of is a situation in which right then and there, let's say your retirement fund would be wired $40,000, and that would be the end of it. Or maybe you would get free health insurance for a period of time. Or in an instance which you choose to donate your organs after your death, you should still get some sort of financial benefit up front. There needs to be an incentive for Americans to give. Without it, not enough people would be donating. I mean, think about the superstores across America, Walmart, Ralph's. If they just relied on altruism, donations, if they relied on donations, they would surely go out of business. So, I know I'm running out of time, so the bottom line really is, it's clear that some sort of compensation needs to be made for the shortage of organs. And while some people say that an open market would end the wait list, it would in fact prove to be ineffective in the long run and would afflict the equal access to organs. People should be financially rewarded for their donations, for their donation and undergoing surgery, not paid for the organ that is taken out of them. Thank you.